So today we have 7 fragrances that I'm going to be grabbing first as soon as the weather breaks and we start moving into springtime. We're already starting to have those days where it's getting a little bit warmer, but then it goes back below freezing the next day. Like just earlier this week, we had it touch 50, 55 degrees. The next day it was cold again. So we're kind of getting to that point. And that's one of the things that can make choosing a spring fragrance so difficult is that you may wake up in the morning, it'll be cold outside, you'll want a winter fragrance, but then later on in the afternoon, it'll be starting to get warm. So you have those big drastic changes. I wanted to go ahead and do a video and kind of tell you some of the ones I'm going to be gravitating towards first right out of the gate once it starts warming up a bit. And it's also worth noting that this is not my top 10 spring fragrances video. And that's actually already shot. A little fun fact for you. I shot that earlier this month in February. So that's going to be ready to go for whenever I want to upload it. Probably be looking out for that sometime in March once we actually get closer to spring. And a niche video will be following after that. But I wanted to do this one to kind of tide you over, start giving you some options to think about for springtime. And also, none of the ones here really made it in my spring video either. So this will kind of give you some supplemental things to get in addition with any of the ones that you may want to pick up in my spring list. What's nice about this video is I did also include one niche fragrance as well. Nice little, just different random mix that I'm really craving and I can't wait to start wearing. I will link these down below to discounters so you can pick them up at a price below retail. Let's run through this one here quickly. First up, we have Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Lemon, vanilla, and sandalwood are a few of the main notes, and it smells awesome. Love this stuff. You know, a lot of people would think of this one and classify it as a summer fragrance, and I do think it works well in summertime, but for me, I love the lemon, I love the kind of creamy sandalwood tonka thing going on, and it makes it more springtime appropriate because it can hold up on those spring mornings where it could be, you know, in the upper to mid 30s, low 40s, but it'll also still smell good if by the afternoon it's getting up into the 50s. You know, as soon as the sun comes out and you start getting some of that warmth, it'll open this one up and kind of bring it back to life and help it develop a little bit more, even though it was cold when you put it on in the morning. Really like this one a lot. It's one that I've been a fan of for a good while. It was one of the last Allure Homme fragrances that I actually added to my collection. So I was a little bit late on the initial hype of this one. I was always gravitating towards the original Sport and Eau Extreme. Never really got into this one, but I wish I would have gotten it sooner. Again, that lemon note in here smells amazing. Has a nice creaminess, almost gourmand in a way. Very, very nice stuff. Next up, we have John VARVATOS Artisan. Just the original, the OG. Clementine, tangerine, orange blossom, and musk. Can you tell what this one is based off of, right? It is orangey, bright, kind of floral, musky clean, a little bit of an herbaceousness. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. Love this stuff. Just the original Artisan, seriously. This is one that I can't wait to spray on in the morning, on a nice spring morning, and just smell it, man, and just enjoy it. Wear it outdoors when it, you know, it is finally starting to warm up, things are starting to thaw out. You know, this one just does have a nice refreshing type of smell that puts you in a good mood. It kind of uplifts you and just kind of gives you this feeling of having a good outlook, you know. Warm weather is approaching, things are starting to come back into life. It's kind of what this one smells like, and I think it's great. What's so nice about this one too is the quality is amazing, especially at this price point, $40 range or so on discounters, maybe even a bit less than that actually for the original here. But the point is you get a ton of quality for the price. The only thing that you don't really get all that much of is performance. It's not the best here, especially with the original Artisan, and I don't expect it to be. I don't wear this one when I want all-day performance. I wear this one like first thing in the morning while I'm having my coffee or something, and by the time, you know, afternoon comes around, I can switch to something different. But it is one that I still like to wear and enjoy just because for the short amount of time that it is on your skin, it is divine. Let's go ahead and knock out that niche fragrance I was talking about. This one is XERJOFF Kobe. So I've talked about this one here and there, bits and pieces a little bit on the channel, and I love this stuff. You know, you can go back on my channel where I was talking about Neo and how I was saying that's one of the best citrus fragrances I had smelled so far, which it still is. It's one of my favorites. That bergamot neroli is amazing, but I hadn't smelled Kobe yet. And now that I have, I can say that this would probably take the place of Neo for me if I had to choose like my favorite, hands down favorite citrus fragrance. This one has neroli, It's got orange, it has petitgrain. So what I like so much about Kobe is the sweetness that it has. It's like a creamy orange, a rindy, kind of crushed up neroli leaf smell. The petitgrain in here comes through very strong. It's bright and sharp, but creamy and a little bit sweet. And that is the ticket for this one. I mean, it just has that perfect balance, which is what I look for in springtime, especially beginning early of spring, where you have those huge fluctuations of 30 degrees up to mid 50s and down and back all over the place, right? I need something that will kind of, be appropriate for those weather swings, and this one is going to be that for me. I cannot wait. I've been smelling my bottle just here inside as I've had it over the winter time, and I'm ready. I'm ready to wear this one out and about. I'm ready to get some heat on it. I can't wait. This one here is a stunner, and if you have a passion for citrus fragrances, you need to at least sample this one. Next up, we have Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Extreme. So I've talked about this and the original on my channel a good amount of times. It's kind of one of those personal fragrances for me. This is never going to be, a hype monster type of thing. It's never going to make it super high in all of the top 10 most complimented videos, right? It's never going to be that type of fragrance where everyone is just raving on about it. And I'm okay with that. For me, it's one that I like because I like it. I enjoy it. And I like to share that enjoyment with you guys. If you're into similar things as I am, you would probably like this. This one has pine tree or pine needles, juniper berries, fir, and leather is just a few of the main notes. You could tell what this one's going to be all about. Very aromatic, very woody. What's nice about this extreme over the original EDT is the leather introduction here. Almost even gives it a little bit more substance and a little bit more of a kind of a spicy, almost earthy, masculine undertone that smells amazing. The way I describe this one, and I'll just do it quickly because I've described it this way about every time, is it smells like an outdoorsman's fragrance, right? This smells like you're out chopping wood, you're out working in the yard, maybe your yard happens to be butting up next to a forest, a bunch of trees. It just has an earthy, outdoorsy, masculine smell, something that a guy who appreciates the outdoors would enjoy. And that's why I like it so much. I love being outside. It reminds me of spring and fall because of just the transition that's going on, and I think it's great stuff. I can wear it throughout the winter time. I can wear it indoors. It smells great, but there's nothing like actually wearing it outside. It really brings the experience to life, and it smells great. So this next one is a little bit of a oddball just because it's, not really too inspiring like maybe a couple of the other ones in here so far. Versace Dylan Blue. Yeah, Dylan Blue. You know what? I'm excited to wear this one. The reason why springtime is because it has that sweetness. So this one has bergamot, incense. There's sea notes in here, aquatic notes, whatever. Of course, did I say ambroxan? Bergamot, incense, ambroxan, sea notes. There you go. That's what it's all about. And so because of that incense and that sweetness, I like to wear this one when there's a bit of a crispness in the air. You can wear this one throughout wintertime, no problem. I've always gotten great performance out of it, out of all of my bottles. I've got 3 bottles consistently, always good performance. So it would hold up and work well in the wintertime. But I like a little bit of a mild temp for it. So, a spring day where it's in the mid 50s, low 60s, something along those lines. That's perfect. That is spot on. And of course warmer as well, but I like a little bit of a balancing freshness and sweetness for that type of weather, and that's what this one does. Super wearable, great performer, big compliment getter as well. And while I have a lot of other things I can choose instead, I really like Dylan Blue. So next up we have a fragrance from the brand of Tommy Hilfiger, one that is quickly going to become a huge fragrance line, I feel like. I think they're really onto something, first of all, with the bottle, which I'll show you in a minute, you probably already know, but also the fragrance line itself, the smells. There's the original here, which is I'm featuring, Tommy Hilfiger Impact, and then there's the Intense, which kind of smells a bit like Layton Parfums de Marly. It's got like a chestnut, warm spiciness. Impact Intense is amazing, very good flanker. And now Impact Spark, which has just been announced, haven't gotten it yet. I don't see where I can buy it just yet, but I will be covering it, of course, once I can. So the point is the line is expanding and growing quick, and I think that they're building this off of already a great base. This one here, the original, is amazing. Impact Intense is amazing as well. We'll find out about spark. But the point is they're off to a great start, and I think this line is going to be huge for them, especially as they all continue to collect on discounters and the prices come down. So this one has citrus, woody notes, amber, akagaya wood, I believe. A lot of woods, a lot of citrusy smell, fruitiness, a little bit of a sweetness. Very well done. Very nice stuff. Impressive stuff. The quality is superior to really all of the other fragrances from the house that I've smelled. The bottle is super cool. Performance on this one is okay. It's not going to be an award-winning performer, but it's not really something I'm after. Built-in travel, super cool. All around, a very wearable, fun fragrance. You know, it's one that I enjoy, one that puts me in a good mood. And for the price, all things considered, the whole package, this is a very nice pickup. And like I said, mark my words, this line is going to be huge. At least I hope so, right? I don't want to make myself look like an idiot if they completely scrap the line after this last one, but I think there's a lot of potential. And last up, we have a new release, pretty much hot off the press, Hugo Boss Bottled Marine Limited Edition. So this one has apple, cinnamon, and what else is in here? I actually can't remember. Apple, like a frosted apple, red apple, cinnamon smell, like a lavender freshness. Done a first impressions. Review's going to be in the works after I wear it more in the spring. That's why I'm excited to wear it and why I want to gravitate towards it first, because I want to get a review out, preferably in springtime. I want to be able to test it in that weather. So what I noticed initially, and what I still do find with this one, is that it's not, you know, fully marine. It's not fully aquatic like you may expect by the name and by the bottle. You know, it kind of is that apple, cinnamon sweetness with just a little bit of a freshened up feel, but not necessarily aquatic. It's kind of how it comes across. It's one that I actually think is better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, you know, kind of boring. But it's much different than tonic, has more depth. I think there's more going on in this one versus tonic, which is their other fresh one. And I just find it to be very appealing. Is it a mind blower? No, definitely not. But is it very pleasant? Absolutely. And like I said, for me, I'm excited to start wearing it once the weather warms up. I think it will be a really nice pickup once it hits discounters. I don't want to say necessarily it's going to be super popular and everywhere, but I do think there is potential, especially once you can get it for $40, $50, somewhere around in there, probably towards the middle of the year once it hits discounters. I think it'll be a good pickup at that point, and one that a lot of people should consider. Retail price is retail price, and for a lot of you, you could probably hold off. But I know for me, it is nice stuff, very appealing, and I'm excited to wear it. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. That is 7 fragrances that I am reaching for first as soon as it starts to warm up outside and start feeling like spring. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Remember, this is not my top 10 spring fragrances list. It's coming up sometime in March. I already got that shot. I already know exactly what I really want there for that list. And a lot of those will be based on kind of later on in spring when temperatures are consistently more warm. These are kind of nice starters to get into while it's early spring and still a bit cold. I will link them down below to discounters. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.